Let's be honest, when you're learning a new language, does it ever feel like you're just trying to memorize a dictionary, one totally random word at a time? Well, what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Portuguese and show you the hidden logic, the system, that can help you learn words way faster than you ever thought possible.
Yeah, you know this feeling. We've all been there. It's that endless flood of new words, right? It can feel completely overwhelming, like you're just treading water, trying not to get pulled under by flashcards. But here's the game-changing idea. Words aren't just random collections of letters. Not at all. They're actually built, piece by piece, kind of like Legos. And once you start to see the building blocks, you can figure out the structure inside even the most complicated-looking words. So, let's become word architects for a few minutes. We're going to break down the two main ways that Portuguese builds its vocabulary. And we're going to start with a process called derivation. Derivation sounds fancy, but it's actually super simple. It's just taking a core word, a primitive word, as the experts call it, and tweaking it by sticking a little piece on the beginning or the end. And boom, you've got a new word with a new meaning. And those little pieces? You definitely remember them from grade school. You've got prefixes, which go at the front, and suffixes, which go at the end. Let's take a look at just how powerful these simple little additions really are.
I mean, it's really as simple as that. Prefix goes on the front, suffix goes on the end. But here's the key. Both of them can totally change a word's meaning or its job in a sentence, and they do it in a way that's incredibly predictable.
Okay, check out how consistent this is. Take the prefix des. It almost always means the opposite of something, or it means to undo something. So if contente means happy, well, descontente means unhappy. If fazer is to do, then desfazer is to undo. See, it's a pattern. Simple, right? All right, let's try another one. The prefix re is all about repetition. So ler means to read, which means reler is to reread. Makes sense. Lembrar is to remember, and relembrar is to remember again or to recall. Once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. One last really powerful example here, in or im. This is basically the same as un or im in English. It just means not. So feliz is happy, infeliz is unhappy, possível is possible, and impossível is, you guessed it, impossible. Seriously, knowing this is a massive shortcut to building your vocabulary. Okay, so that's the front of the word covered. But what about the back? Well, suffixes are just as important, but they often have a different job. Their main gig is to change what kind of word you're using, like turning a descriptive word, an adjective, into an action word, a verb. This is just a perfect example. You start with a really simple adjective, velho, which means old. Then you tack on the suffix ser, which often suggests a process is happening. And just like that, you've made a totally new verb, envelhecer, to grow old. You didn't just change the meaning a little bit, you changed the word's entire job description. And believe me, there are suffixes for pretty much everything. You've got mente, which turns adjectives into adverbs, just like adding li in English. Others can tell you it's a profession or a quality like happiness, or even make something smaller and cuter with inho. This is the hidden engine that just cranks out new words. But what happens when you go bigger? When you don't just add a tiny little piece, but you smash two whole words together? Well, that brings us to our second major method, composition. Composition is, exactly what it sounds like. It's the ultimate word Lego. You're taking two or more perfectly good words that can stand on their own, and you just snap them together to build something totally new. Now, sometimes this is super obvious. You can see it right here. You take guarda, which means guard, and chuva, which means rain. Put them together and you get guarda-chuva, a rain guard. An umbrella. Same thing with couve-flor, which is literally cabbage flower. The logic is just sitting right there on the surface. But here's where it gets really cool. Sometimes that fusion is so perfect, so complete, that the original words almost get hidden. The hyphen vanishes, the sounds blend together, and you end up with a beautiful new word that's holding a secret inside. Let's put a word under the microscope. The word is girasol. It means sunflower. Now, at first glance, it just looks like one single word, but it's actually a compound word in disguise. So take a second, look closely at it. Can you spot the two separate words that might have been melted together to create this one? And there they are. The first part is girar, which comes from the verb girar, meaning to turn. And the second part, sol, just means sun. Put them together, you get girasol.
And this is the aha moment. A girasol isn't just a random name for a sunflower. It's a perfect, literal description of what it is, the sun turner. That's exactly what the flower does. The whole beautiful story was hiding in plain sight the entire time.
So, why does any of this matter? Because this isn't just some boring grammar lesson. This is a superpower, for real. It's a completely new way to see language that turns painful memorization into fun detective work.
So from now on, this is your toolkit. The next time you see a new, scary-looking Portuguese word, don't panic. Be a detective. Scan the front for prefixes like des or re. Check out the suffix on the end to figure out its job. And if it's a really long word, try to crack it open and find the simple, literal story it's telling.
And I'll leave you with this final thought. This system, this word architecture, it isn't unique to Portuguese. It's in English, too. I mean, think about words like unbreakable or bookstore. What hidden stories can you suddenly see in the words you use every single day?